John Joseph Nicholson is an American retired actor and filmmaker. Nicholson is widely regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Throughout his 5-decade career, he received numerous accolades, including 3 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTA Film Awards, 6 Golden Globe Awards, and a Grammy Award. He also received the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award in 1994 and the Kennedy Center Honor in 2001. In many of his films, he played rebels against the social structure. Nicholson has won 3 Academy Awards, for Best Actor for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, and As Good as It Gets, and for Best Supporting Actor for Terms of Endearment. He was Oscar-nominated for Easy Rider, 5 Easy Pieces, The Last Detail, 1974, Chinatown, 1974, Reds, Prizzi's Honor, 1986, Ironweed, A Few Good Men, and About Schmidt. Nicholson is also known for his notable roles in Carnal Knowledge, The Shining, Heartburn, 1986, Broadcast News, Batman, Hoffa Mars Attacks, 1996, Something's Gotta Give, The Departed, 2006, and The Bucket List. Nicholson has directed 3 films: Drive, He Said, 1971, Goin' South, and The Two Jakes. He is one of only 3 male actors to win 3 Academy Awards and one of only 2 actors to be nominated for an Academy Award for acting in films made in every decade from the 1960s to the 2000s, alongside Michael Caine. His 12 Academy Award nominations make him the most nominated male actor in the Academy's history. John Joseph Nicholson was born on April 22, 1937, in Neptune City, New Jersey, the son of a showgirl, June Frances Nicholson. Nicholson's mother was of Irish, English, German, and Welsh descent. Nicholson has identified as Irish, comparing himself to the playwright Eugene O'Neill, whom he played in the film Reds. "I'm not saying I'm as dark as he was, but I am a writer. I am Irish. I have had problems with my family." His mother married Italian-American showman Donald Fursillo, stage name Donald Rose, 1909 to 1997, in 1936, before realizing that he was already married. Biographer Patrick McGilligan stated in his book Jack's Life that Latvian-born Eddie King, originally Edgar A. Hirschfeld, June's manager, may have been Nicholson's biological father, rather than Fursillo. Other sources suggest June Nicholson was unsure of the father's identity. As June was only 17 and unmarried, her parents agreed to raise Nicholson as their own child without revealing his true parentage, with June acting as his sister. In 1974, Time magazine researchers learned and informed Nicholson that his sister, June, was actually his mother, and his other sister, Lorraine, was really his aunt. By this time, both his mother and grandmother had died, in 1963 and 1970, respectively. On finding out, Nicholson said it was a pretty dramatic event, but it wasn't what I'd call traumatizing. I was pretty well psychologically formed. Nicholson grew up in Neptune City, New Jersey. Before starting high school, his family moved to an apartment in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Nick, as he was known to his high school friends, attended nearby Manasquan High School, where he was voted class clown by the class of 1954. He was in detention every day for a whole school year. A theater and a drama award at the school are named in his honor. In 2004, Nicholson attended his 50-year high school reunion accompanied by his Aunt Lorraine. In 1957, Nicholson joined the California Air National Guard, a move he sometimes characterized as an effort to dodge the draft. The Korean War-era's Military Selective Service Act was still in force, and draftees were required to perform up to 2 years of active duty. After completing the Air Force's basic training at Lackland Air Force Base, Nicholson performed weekend drills and 2-week annual training as a firefighter assigned to the unit based at the Van Nuys Airport. During the Berlin crisis of 1961, Nicholson was called up for several months of extended active duty, and he was discharged at the end of his enlistment in 1962. Nicholson first came to California in 1950, when he was 13, to visit his sister. He took a job as an office worker for animation directors William Hanna and Joseph Barbera at the MGM Cartoon Studio. They offered him an entry-level job as an animator, but he declined, citing his desire to become an actor. While accepting the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the 56th Golden Globe Awards, he recalled that his first day as a working actor on Tales of Wells Fargo was May 5, 1955, which he considered lucky, as 5 was the jersey number of his boyhood idol, Joe DiMaggio. He trained to be an actor with a group called the Players Ring Theater, after which he found small parts performing on the stage and in TV soap operas. He made his film debut in a low-budget teen drama The Cry-Baby Killer, playing the title role. For the next decade, Nicholson frequently collaborated with the film's producer, Roger Corman. Corman directed Nicholson on several occasions, such as in The Little Shop of Horrors as Undertaker, and Masochistic Dental Patient, Wilberforce, in The Raven, The Terror, where he plays a French officer seduced by an evil ghost, and The Street Valentine's Day Massacre. Nicholson frequently worked with director Monte Hellman on low-budget westerns. Two of them, Ride in the Whirlwind and The Shooting, initially failed to interest U.S. film distributors but gained cult success on the French art house circuit and were later sold to television. Nicholson also appeared in 2 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show, and starred as a rebellious dirt track race driver in the 1960 film The Wild Ride. With his acting career foundering, Nicholson seemed resigned to a career behind the camera as a writer/director. His first real taste of writing success was the screenplay for the 1967 counterculture film The Trip, directed by Corman, starring Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. After first reading the script, Fonda told Nicholson he was impressed by the writing and felt it could become a great film. But Fonda was disappointed with how the film turned out and blamed the editing for turning it into a predictable film and said so publicly. "I was livid," he recalls. Nicholson also co-wrote, with Bob Rafelson, The Movie Head, which starred the Monkees and arranged the movie's soundtrack. Nicholson's first big acting break came when a role opened up in Fonda and Hopper's Easy Rider, 1969. He played alcoholic lawyer George Hansen, for which he received his first Oscar nomination. The film cost only $400,000 to make and became a blockbuster, grossing $40 million. Biographer John Parker writes that Nicholson's interpretation of his role placed him in the company of earlier anti-hero actors, such as James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart, while promoting him into an overnight #1 hero of the counterculture movement. The part was a lucky break for Nicholson. The role had been written for Rip Torn, who withdrew from the project after an argument with Hopper. Nicholson later acknowledged the importance of being cast in Easy Rider. "All I could see in the early films, before Easy Rider, was this desperate young actor trying to vault out of the screen and create a movie career." Stanley Kubrick, who was impressed by his performance in Easy Rider, cast Nicholson as Napoleon in a film about his life, and although production on the film commenced, the project fizzled out, partly due to a change in ownership at MGM. In 1970, Nicholson starred in 5 easy pieces alongside Karen Black in what became his persona-defining role. Nicholson and Black were nominated for Academy Awards for their performances. Nicholson played Bobby Dupuy, an oil rig worker, and Black played his waitress girlfriend. Black noted that Nicholson's character in the film was very subdued and very different from Nicholson's real personality. She said that the now infamous restaurant scene was partly improvised by Nicholson, and was out of character for Bobby, who would not have cared enough to argue with the waitress. "I think that Jack really has very little in common with Bobby. I think Bobby has given up looking for love, but Jack hasn't. He's very interested in love, in finding out things. Jack is a very curious, alive human being, always ready for a new idea." Nicholson himself said as much, telling an interviewer, "I like listening to everybody. This to me is the elixir of life." Well guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us. Thanks for watching.